Слышно?
Hello, everyone. I hope that you can see and hear me. Please give me a score from 1 to 10 if you can hear me well in the chat. So 10 if you hear me crystal clear, 1 if you hear me really badly. Okay, I see mostly 10s while other people are connecting. Would like to remind you that you can choose the language of broadcast. If you go to the bottom of the screen and pick your language, it can be either English, Russian, or Hindi, or you can, and also if you want to change the language of the slides, go to the top of the screen to the view options, where you can choose the language of the slides too. So the view options at the top of the screen, you can choose the language of the slides. Okay. Hello, everyone again. Thanks for connecting. Let's see if we have here first timers, newcomers. Give me a 1 and give me a 2, 3 if you are here for the third or second time. While you're doing that, let me introduce myself. My name is Valentin Sokolnikov. I'm the Managing Director of Global Unit Pay. I'm also a certified specialist in Anti-Money Laundering Act. Also, I'm an investment advisor, graduate of the training Master Profi, and also member of the International Public Association, Generals of the World for Peace. So I see someone's congratulations for being here. You are at the right time, at the right spot. So the topic of our today's webinar is FNT token, which is a fintech token of our ecosystem, fintech ecosystem that we're creating. And before we start this slide, give me a plus in the chat if you already heard about the fintech token, and a minus if you haven't heard anything about it. I see some people do know, others do not, especially those who are here, I guess, for the first time. Okay, let me give you a brief overview, but of course, you can always go and visit our website or rewatch the recordings of our previous webinars where we're telling you why we're doing it, what's our history, and Aidan Ward and Annette Martinson also conduct webinars on a regular basis. And the next webinar, by the way, is going to be tomorrow, so follow the news to know when. Also, we had a couple of events, webinars, where we explain why we're doing it, and also why specifically fintech and why we're doing it. For those of you who are here for the first time, let me tell you right away that the company Global Unit Pay has been in the market for more than 2 years now. Early January, we celebrated the 2nd anniversary of since our official launch, and the company has been operating more than 2 years from 2020. So we have the license of the financial intermediate. We are headquartered in Switzerland. We can work with fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies. Also, we are conducting bank transactions, working with bank accounts and bank cards, and so on. Since our license allows us to work with bank, although our license allows us to work with our bank accounts, we cannot create them yet. And we already have more than 50,000 users gained over the 2 years. More than 20,000 are verified users who went through the verification. And also the company speaking up pace in terms of reaching out to businesses. I'm talking about companies coming to us, opening their corporate accounts with us, and using those accounts for their businesses. I'm talking about receiving money, sending money, custodial accounts for storing cryptocurrency. And since there are companies that work in cryptocurrencies and cannot open bank accounts, banks do not allow them. We decided to further develop this area to offer the widest service possible to our clients. And also, we mentioned in 2021, 2022, that we had a strategy in place, how it's going to happen. And after that, we decided not just be competitors to other banks, but become a fully fledged crypto fiat banking institution where we can offer banking sector services in the cryptocurrency market, such as deposits and loans, which is a normal thing. But for crypto industry, for cryptocurrency companies, this is not a very common thing. And now let's go back to our slides where we can see our tokenomics and how it works. So tokenomics is a document that describes the technical essence of tokens, what they are, how they work, how they're going to be used, what the advantages are. So on the slides, you can see that the total supply is 2 billion tokens that eventually will be issued and offered to the market. But at the same time, let me tell you that the tokens in circulation will be way fewer. You can see on the pie chart how many different tokens will be accumulated in which sector. So we had first pre-sale, where 20% of tokens were allocated private sales, is 17% public sale, it's 5%. 5% goes to the team and advisors, marketing 8%, and then 40% goes to reserve, locked, and 5% to the so-called treasury. So you can see that we have not allocated a lot of tokens to the team and advisors or the owners of the project because we do not want to be people who would be able to manipulate the market, dump the tokens, and manipulate the price. Of course, right now, the community is in charge of this initiative. It's going to be an entire ecosystem of products, which will include different options, such as, for example, if we're talking about banking transactions, it's quite self-explanatory. But if we talk about the secondary banking products that we are planning to transfer to crypto community, these are loans, for example. These are deposits. In other words, definitely, you yourself know, or you know people who purchased Bitcoin at the price higher than it is right now. So tell me in the chat, write me in the chat if you know people who purchased Bitcoin at the price which is higher than the current price, which is around 20,000. Or you can give the exact number or tentative number at which price you or people you know bought Bitcoin. For example, right now, Bitcoin cost 21,200. Recently, it was 16,000. 2 years ago, 1 year and a half, it was almost $60,000. So tell me in the chat at what price you or people you know bought Bitcoin back in the day. And if the price is higher, the purchase price is higher than the current price, then sure, you wouldn't sell it right now. Well, 50,000 is a very high price. And definitely the person who purchased Bitcoin at the price of $50,000 per coin is least satisfied. Someone says $38,000, Maya Yashkina, then 37,000, someone in France. So, and if a person sells that coin, those Bitcoins, at the price lower than the purchase price, they will bear losses, and nobody wants to bear losses. And we're going to offer an opportunity when you can come to us, put your Bitcoin as collateral and receive stable coin and use your money now. And then you can purchase back your Bitcoin with a commission. And then if the price goes up, you can still redeem your loan and get back your Bitcoin at the original price. So this is how the loan system works. And it also works in reverse. So you can deposit stable coins under a smart contract and get your reward for other people to use that money. So this is a completely transparent pool of funds insured or secured by smart contracts. We will show you the results of the audit, showing that it's much securer, more secure than just any other system on the internet, and nobody will be able to do anything with that money except within the smart contract. So this is what we're going for. We already have some developments that we're going to discuss in more detail later, and this is one of the examples what we can offer in the market. So a person can use the stable coins they get after using their crypto as collateral in any way they see fit. They can put it on their bank card or whatever. And every time someone uses products of the ecosystem, they will be charged the commission. And depending on the membership in the company or level of membership in the company, those people will pay either higher or lower commission. If you remember, we had 5 different levels, starting with the simplest one that doesn't require anything complicated except having a verified account. And then we have higher levels, which will require users to have FNT tokens in their portfolio proportionate to their portfolio. For example, if a person wants to use $10,000 and enjoy a discount for all the products, then they will have to have FNT tokens in the amount of 1%, for example. Or if, for example, they want to, or 10%, for example, if they want to dispose $10,000, they need to have $1,000 worth of tokens in reserve. For example, if people want to use the bank cards, bank transactions, stakings, then there will be a commission charged and the company will earn that commission. And then money will be used to buy back the tokens and burn the tokens, up to 50% of the funds. You can go to our website, check the tokenomics, and see how it all works. It all described in detail there. However, I gave you a brief overview of how it works and why tokens will be in demand, because the more transactions and the bigger the community, the more often the token is going to be used, and the higher the demand is going to be for the token, and the higher the price of that token. And we, as the company, are going to buy it out and burn it to make sure that the number of tokens is kept small and the process of deflation is ongoing when the number of tokens is lower and lower. So those tokens that were allocated for the pre-sale stage Okay, Valentin seems to have frozen. So part of the tokens, again, will be burned. Some of them will be put on staking. And then the eventual number will not be 2 billion, but way smaller. So whitelisting. Let's go to the next slide, please. So whitelist for the community, which is unique. And there are different packages at different prices in units. And also for each package, you get a certain number of points that will eventually be turned into tokens when we have our token generation event. When we organize that event in 2023, then those token points will be turned into tokens, they will be frozen, and then all the users from the whitelist will get those tokens to their wallets. And here also you can see cost per point, and then you can consider it as cost per token. I cannot tell you the number of packages left because it's changing all the time. But as far as I know, installments have already been put in place where a person can reserve a certain number of points, packages for a couple of months ahead. So this is quite a positive development when you can save the price, let's say at 3 cents for the next 3 months. Of course, you can get more details in the back office and see how it works. Now, please give me a plus in the chat if you already added yourself to the whitelist, and a minus if you haven't yet. I see Khalid, Ravi Kumar gave us a plus. Some people gave minuses. Vladimir gave a plus. Okay, I see lots of you guys already purchased the package and added yourself to the whitelist. What can I say here? Of course, it is up to you. It's the decision that you have to make based on your experience, based on your investment experience and knowledge and the due diligence, your experience in life, blockchain. What I can say is that you can go to our Telegram channel where we continuously share our news, events, offer you updates, what happens, how it happens, and what the next plans are. Those of you who gave us pluses, congratulations, because there are some news that we would like to share, and if you're already in the whitelist, well done, you are in luck. Now, we are ending the whitelisting on the 25th of January. This whitelisting is going to end. There will be no opportunity to jump on that train anymore. The company will develop according to its plan, and then we will follow our roadmap and go to the external market. Of course, we're very grateful to the entire community for their input, for their participation. And when we talk to other crypto companies and crypto funds, we, of course, tell them that we have a community. We have a community who knows what fintech tokens are, how it's going to be used, or at least try to figure it out, follow the news. We already have more than 2,000 people, live people. These are not bot accounts or fake accounts. We are talking about live people, real people who follow the news, talk to each other. And of course, it's great when you have such a community. And in the cryptocurrency market, this is quite a huge value. And also we have other social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're also publish news, and I would like to express my gratitude to all those people who like, share, repost, write comments, because this is yet another confirmation that people are real, the accounts are real, and we are following our roadmap, and as planned, the closed whitelist will last for a limited period of time, and on the 25th of January this year, the whitelisting will end. Now let's go to the next slide, please. We planned to have this webinar together with Alexander Vermesher, and if we have viewers from the United States, you know that there has been a collapse and we had to move our webinar. So Alexander fell sick, and let's wish him a good health, and we have to skip his part. We had to have the interview here with him. But let me tell you instead about our news and what we are going to do. Well, after the ending of the whitelisting, we are going to launch our updated website version 2.0, where a person can sign up directly. It's going to be a limited offer in the functionality. The cost of the agreement will be higher. I'm talking about safe agreement. So the cost under the contract for 1 token point will be... Valentin has frozen.
Соответственно, также мы будем проводить полностью KYC клиента, и для определенных 5 центов за токен, и...
It's gonna cost 5 cents per token, and the contract, the minimum contract amount should be $5,000 USDT. There are some jurisdictions that require qualified clients, users, for example, the United States of America. In this case, we're going to ask for credentials of a qualified user, and the minimum contract amount should be $25,000 in USDT. Well, in some countries, the requirements are more lenient, easier, and less strict than in other countries, because we have lots of people from more than 160 countries across the world. I'm talking about verified users, where we have their data that we can confirm, and who have their active accounts in our system. So on the website, it's going to be quite a simple form, and then we're going to integrate Web3, where a person can link their cold wallet, be it a MetaMask or Trust wallet, to the website and connect their wallet to run some activities. So let's go to the next slide, please. So the next news is about the event. As I said, we planned to have this webinar on Friday, but we had to push it back. And now we're in the middle of that news, of those events. I'm talking about crypto summits in Davos and Zurich. You know, in Davos, they have a World Economic Forum. And then on Monday, there was a event in Zurich. And then on Friday, we're going to have Davos. And of course, our company is attending those events, because this is our field of expertise, and this is a very unique opportunity for us to get new clients, both in Zurich and Davos. And Global Unit Pay as a company advertises what it can offer to different exchanges. You know, some of our clients are already crypto exchanges. We can disclose some of them. We cannot disclose others, because we cannot disclose information about them without their consent. And what's the advantage of this particular event, Crypto Summit, two events, because it is run in parallel or at the same time of the World Economic Forum. And then we and other companies can reach out to the participant, very high-level participants. You can go to the website cryptosummit.ch and you can check the list of speakers. Those are quite interesting events with quite interesting speakers, when the host can invite people that you can hardly meet anywhere in the street or in your everyday life. For example, I met with Bill Tai. He's a venture investor and has been since 1990s. He was one of the first to invest in Zoom when they just started. And right now we are using Zoom, and has lots of experience. You can check his profile in LinkedIn, and he has another fund, Octai Global, with Amanda Taylor. So this event invited this this person as a speaker. He gave his feedback and gave his speech, and this is a unique opportunity to listen to such people. Unlike, let's say, less experienced people, he has his own point of view. And when everyone says that it's crypto winter and the bearish market, everyone says it's bad, he says it's good. And he also explains why it's good. And the nice thing about crises is that they show the real value of the product, the real value of the company, and the real value is in people. And of course, I met this guy, we had a chat, we exchanged our contacts, and now we are keeping in touch with Amanda. And he said that the unique value of the entire situation is for everyone to see real people who are going to use the product and who will see the real value of the product. So of course, it's interesting to meet such people, and those events are a good opportunity to derive some unique lessons, some takeaways from conversing with such interesting people, such as Bill Tai, who has been since 1990s involved in all venture and non-venture investments, and has lots of experience. It was quite a feat. There were other people invited. Some of them were able to come, others were not. Also, there was a guy, the founder of eToro. Probably you heard about this company, about this platform. They allow, let's say, electronic exchange, stock exchange and crypto exchange opportunities. There were coffee breaks there as well, when you can just talk to other people, and it was quite interesting to see different businesses, different projects. Also, I had an opportunity to talk to two teams. One team was from a Swiss bank, and the other team was from the Raiffeisen Bank, and both of them are trying to implement the the option of purchasing cryptocurrencies in their banks. Most interestingly, they were sharing their experience, how they were working on starting this development, and they mentioned that they were planning to issue the demo version in 2024. Just imagine, we're talking about it takes years to have a crypto project developed and approved. But of course, we're talking about very big banks here. And I again realized the advantage of being a fintech company when you have the opportunity to work with different markets, different areas. And of course, when talking with those people, I shared what we were doing, that I told them that, of course, we weren't as big as they were, but last year we made a decision to expand our market, and this year we are already doing that, and in February we're going to launch additional crypto trading options for additional jurisdictions that we didn't have before. Of course, they were surprised that we're moving at such a high pace, but that's how it is. We have a team, we have people, we have products that we can develop and sell. And we didn't mention it in our roadmap, but most probably what we're going to do, what we want to do, is to add on our platform the opportunity to exchange and trade FNT tokens and have an extended functionality, not just exchange as it is in global unit pay, but also the opportunity for trading and even margin trading and auto tracking. Auto tracking, it's following someone and copy their trades, copy their positions. Whether they are successful or not, you can see the history of their transactions and copy them. It's going to be, it's possible, and we already have this task underway, because not all of the partners that we work with have this functionality. But by combining our efforts, we will be able to do that for all of our clients. Okay. Also, I wanted to add here that there is a very good opportunity for business development for new crypto companies. For example, I met a company that has its own token and they want to be listed. Of course, we can list the token on the global unit pay and have new people come to our ecosystem and new people learn about global unit pay. And then we can also help them get listed on the Unitex, and people can buy, exchange their coins on that platform. Quite an interesting concept. Also, I told them about our clients, the international marketing company EvoReach, with quite a huge database and can run webinars in numerous languages. They were quite interested. They wanted to know how it worked. So very soon, in the near future, I think we will be able to share very good news about those guys. They arranged with some television companies in terms of advertising, and let's see what they have to offer. But listing is already there, and is already on the table. So we were talking about the founders of the company. I'm talking about the decision makers. Again, such events have a very cool opportunity for business development and for building long-term relationships. And also, it's an opportunity to talk to venture funds that specialize in cryptocurrencies, that specialize in blockchain fintech companies, and we are such a company. Moreover, there was one more interesting thing. At this event, there were guys from Binance. There was a lady who represented Binance custody. And after her speech, there were a number of questions, of course, on the sidelines of the event. And she was there with her colleague. And it turned out that we already met with that colleague in the past. He recognized me. He said, "Oh, I remember you. We met on this and that day." And it's cool when people know each other and talk to each other, not just newly met people, but people who already met in the past and talked in the past. As you know, the Binance company is increasing their expansion, is their sales, and there are options for us working together. Of course, no promises were made, but it's still a good advantage that you can meet new people, you can meet old people, renew your connections, relations, and keep on working. And as for the plans, what we're going to do, what kind of events we're going to attend next time, we're going to publish that on our social media, in our Telegram channel. And I would like to also express my gratitude to all the people who follow our social media, who subscribe to our Telegram channel, who make reposts. And if you go to Twitter, you can see that the host of the event, when they posted their news, they had 1, 2, 3 likes. But when we reposted them, then we were immediately shown there. And they had first had a couple of likes. And then after we reposted them, they immediately had like 70 likes. And I'm talking about real people here, real comments, people who support the company. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for showing your activity. And of course, we shouldn't dwell on what we have accomplished. We should gain momentum, pick up pace. Sometimes we are in lack of time, but even I sometimes open my phone, go through the news feed, add likes. One like, they say, is plus 5 points to your karma. What about the next news? Okay, and plans. We're going to participate in different third-party platforms like Launchpads, and in this second quarter 2023, we're going to get listed on an external exchange and initiate public sales. So this is a stage where people can buy and sell fintech tokens on the market. And when someone decides to do that, they can first go and check our roadmap, see what this whole project is about, and we have continuous news updates posted. So in this regard, everything will be quite open, transparent, and the person will be able to ask their questions and get their answers. Let's go to the next slide. So here we have the comparison between different coins. As you remember, we were planning to go into the market at the price of 0.05 cents, but this is, or dollars. This is not the best price. Probably it will be $0.08 or 8 cents. This will be the best starting price. And give me a plus if you already heard about the companies mentioned on this slide, and the minus if you haven't, and I will tell you more about it. CRO, it's a crypto.com company. They're very famous company. They had so much money that they renamed the entire stadium in the United States. It's called now crypto.com. Also, they were sponsors of the World Football Championship in Cup in Qatar. Probably you saw them on one of the banners. So they started trading at $2.89. Now the price is lower because there was some unpleasant thing happened to them and the token price went really down. So probably not everything is as peachy as it might seem. So previously they offered cards, crypto cards. The simplest card cost 300 euros. The most expensive card cost 300,000 euros. The simple card in Global Unit Pay cost, the most simple, cost 5 euros. Of course, they had a very cool advertising. They made a lot of money, but probably something went wrong, but because the token price really crashed. Nexo company, they offer the lending system options. They have a very good growth. You can see it's times 40, x 40, which is quite a considerable growth. Also, their community has grown, and they specialized more in loans and credits. It's yet another thing that we're planning to do as well. Crypto.com, by the way, also used different membership levels depending on what kind of card you wanted to order. In simple terms, we combine the best, let's say, experience from .com, Crypto.com, and Nexo. And if I'm not mistaken, they don't have their own banking license. And this is what we are going for a banking license that will allow us to open accounts, proper accounts. We're going like doing the extra mile. Compound and AAV, those are decentralized platforms that allow you to stake your stable coins, such as USDTs, and get interest. The advantage here is that they're open and decentralized. Nexo is doing something similar, but they are centralized. And the disadvantage of decentralization here is that something can go wrong. And we all heard about the collapse of the FTX company. By the way, one of the biggest, used to be one of the biggest crypto exchanges. And they simply went bankrupt. And then there was a cascade, or like butterfly, ripple effect, when other companies started crumbling as well. So our case would be the happy marriage between decentralization and decentralization. When we're talking about banking, it's centralization and regulation. But when we're talking about crypto, stakings, loans, this will be decentralized. And for it to be transparent, Compound and AAV are decentralized, and they're quite successful. So what's going to be the price of fintech exactly? We cannot tell you right now. We don't have the crystal ball, but I'm sure that we are on the right track. And despite the crypto winter that we are in right now, despite the bearish market, we always have clients. And even those companies that do not deal with crypto, they can still be our users, open their bank accounts, make transactions, pay service fees. So it's like a ongoing business, banking business, I mean, that has been in existence for several hundreds of years. Some banks are old, others are new. In this case, the fintech license will allow us to open proper bank accounts and make transactions. So this is what I wanted to say so far. As far as I understand, the next slide is questions and answers. So if you have your questions, please ask them, because we still have a couple of minutes. We can go through them and see if I'm in a position to answer those questions. So I see a question from Alexei. Why on the platform Global Unit Pay there is no internal conversion from USDU to USDT? Well, Global Unit Pay company uses the markets, the currency pairs that are already in the market. For example, if in the market there is no trading between USDU and USDT, then we cannot use it. If there is an existing trading pair, then we can use it. We use the currency pairs from major exchanges like Kraken for Bitcoins, and for smaller coins, we use our business partners' currency pairs, Unitex. Of course, we're going to have better integration with most of them to better function, but if someone wants to buy USDT or Bitcoin for $100,000 or $1 million, then, of course, the market on Kraken is more stable. That's why we are using Kraken for major transactions. So the question from Zarina, can we use CRU and WCRU as collateral to get a loan? Well, WCRU, no, because it's a security token. You can use utility tokens such as CRU, but it needs to be liquid. So when CRU has more volume and is traded better, then it can be used as collateral as well. The next one, when it is planned to have new cards in Global Unit Pay, we already started the migration process between the factories, and then it was put on pause because of the Christmas and New Year's holidays. But we are planning to renew the process in the very near future, and we will announce when it happens. The next question is from Adil Al-Shamari, also about WCRU. Well, it's a security token, so it cannot be used as a collateral, Like, you cannot take Apple shares, go to the bank and tell them, look, I want to use those shares as collateral. Probably some bank will accept it, but this is not a common practice. So if you want to use your shares for a loan, you have to sell your shares and then get a loan. So in the section questions and answers, I see no further questions. Probably there are some questions in the chat. Let me check. Someone says, I have a global unit pay route Telegram, which hasn't been active since the 30th of November. So this is from Olga. Olga, we will give you the updated global unit pay Telegram. And let's try and share that link to the current Telegram channel of global unit pay. So right now I shared the link for the FNT World, which is the Telegram channel for FinTech token. You can go there, ask your questions there. The advantage of Telegram that it supports now different languages. You can write in your own language, and others will be able to read your message by using the inbuilt translation function. Then another question is whether Russians can participate in the projects. Well, Russians can participate in the SAFE agreement, but the internal sales do not allow us to work with Russians. So the question is, when can we place our FNT tokens? Well, after the public sales start, after the listing happens, and then that's where you can stake your FNT tokens. So there's a question from Roman about the cards. I already answered that. Someone asks, can we reduce the fee for withdrawal of USDTs? The fee is 1.5 euros, and for USDTs, it's a fixed fee. Use TRC20 to reduce your fees, okay? So I answered the question from Tamara about Russian nationals and FNTs. Will there be the affiliate program in the airdrop? Pavel is asking. Well, yes, we intend to use some of the tokens for marketing, and there will be some referral rewards, yes. But do not think of big amounts here, because we don't want to give away a lot of free tokens in order to prevent dumping of those tokens later on. And if they happen to be free, then there will be some lockup period for sure. As for freezing and unfreezing, you can go and read the white paper where everything is mentioned. On what blockchain the FNT token is going to be? Very good question. Well, as for the blockchain, we consider different options, and because we work in the crypto industry, we want as much crypto community as possible to know about, to learn about us. That's why we analyze different protocols, different companies that use different networks, and some of them can even offer additional extra service to young companies, startups that use their protocol. For example, we can have this token on Binance Smart Chain, but because Binance is centralized, then it is not entirely good to have a token on the centralized blockchain. It has a risk that one day everything can be suspended. Someone in Binance might push a button and it all stop. We had negotiations with Avalanche, and they asked whether we could use their system in Avalanche, in our system, the system of stakings and loans. But unfortunately, Avalanche does not support Bitcoin. In this case, we would have to use only the coins that are available on the Avalanche blockchain. Well, of course, Ethereum is one of the most common one. There are other blockchains. We are still in the process of negotiations, and we will give you the updates and recent news in our social media, what kind of blockchain we're going to use for the FNT token. Someone says that people do not value free things. Yes, Tom, you're right. People do not appreciate or value free things. We are of the same opinion, and we want people to appreciate what they have. A question from Roman, whether KYC verification of FNT be easier for GUP clients? Yes, it's going to be easier. But if we're talking about common crypto transactions, it can be quite easy. But if a person uses fiat currencies, then you will have to confirm, you will have to provide more details about yourself and prove the origin of your money or what you do for life. Probably you have followed our recent news and overall the history of Global Unit Pay when we went through our annual audit. We also confirmed that we can have a simple verification process, Global Unit Pay, and a person who wasn't able to fully get verified can try and do it again. And of course, it's going to be easier than 2 years ago when we just started. There's a question from Khalid, whether soulbound ID enable GP registration. Well, for now, they are working with some sub verification provider, and we are working with Global Pass, and they do not work with each other. So when soulbound ID will start using Global Pass KYC services, then of course we'll be able to integrate it into Global Unit Pay. Olga says, I signed up for the channel. There is not a single message in Russian. You can translate any message into Russian using the Telegram inbuilt translation function. Try. There's a question, $5,000, how many tokens I will have in the package for $5,000? Well, you can calculate. Let me try and do it. It's gonna be 100,000 tokens at 5 cents. But you can do the calculation yourself and see how many tokens you're gonna have in each of the tokens. Also, you can open the website right now and see what kind of prices are there, and then make a informed decision what you need and whether it is interesting for you or not. Will P2P transfers be possible? Well, those tokens that will be sold during public sales on the crypto exchanges can be transferred, can be sold to your MetaMask, Trust Wallet, or to any other account where you can keep those tokens. So we're talking about public sales, tokens sold or purchased during the public sales. There's a question from Rose. Does FNT tokens use crypto unit blockchain? Well, good question. We had this original idea of using the crypto unit blockchain, but you know that our goal is not just have tokens in our own sandbox, but we want to grow bigger and across the entire world. And Global Unit Pay was originally founded to be useful to as many people as possible, including the internal community. But the internal community, as the practice shows, do not always use the services offered. And that's why we have to go outside, because if we were working only with our internal narrow market, then either the community had to use it all the time, or the whole endeavor would lose sense. And that's why it was decided not to focus on a certain narrow market, but to go worldwide. And of course, crypto community is continuously growing, is picking up pace, and according to some data, there are already 300 million people who use crypto products, cryptocurrencies, and have crypto wallets. This is quite a huge market, and we have ambitious goals of covering at least 10% of the entire cryptocurrency market users who would either use our products or be our partners, our clients, be the Global Unit Pay clients, and make bank transactions, and also use our partner companies' services as well. I see some of the questions are already repeating themselves. I think we've covered everything so far. If you still have questions, do not hesitate to ask those questions in our social media, in our Telegram channel, where you are going to get all the answers you need. I would like to express my appreciation to everyone for being at this webinar, the organizers, the interpreters, to all the attendees, and wish you again very good day, good mood, and thank you for your help, your assistance, for your kind words. And of course, by joining our efforts, we can achieve even better success and conquer new mountains, new peaks, rather than doing it alone. Because you know that you can snap one twig easily, but if you have a whole like handful of twigs, you're not going to snap it that easily. So again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and have a nice day. Of course, when we have news about the Davos event, we will publish it in our social media. So again, follow our social media, ask your questions, do not hesitate. Have a nice day and take care.